Okay, this is my instant reaction to Iowa's Week 1 game against Albany. I was actually there, so I have a lot of extra things that I saw that I wouldn't normally be able to grasp from a TV screen, so I'll get into it. Everyone's going to want me to talk about the offense, so I'll just address that first. I was once again disappointed by this offense, which is becoming a yearly tradition now that I'm not a fan of. So our quarterback, Mark Gronowski, was new. He was very, very shaky today. He missed throws early, including a touchdown to Sam Phillips in the back of the end zone. Not great, and I was very not happy when that happened. His decision-making was really, really good tonight, but he just didn't have the accuracy for whatever reason, and I don't know why. And I guarantee, based on his body language and whatnot, that it was nerves, and he even admitted after the game in his interviews that he had a bunch of pregame jitters, which doesn't shock me. And I'm very proud that he actually owned that and took ownership for his actions. It kind of shows who he is and what type of leader he is. However, although the passing game was not good, the positive was again the running game, and today's star player was someone I didn't even know who he was coming into the game. So Xavier Williams is a redshirt freshman running back. He had 11 carries for 122 yards and 1 touchdown. He was incredible, and again, didn't know who he was until Kamari Moulton got hurt today, so he's awesome. I'm not going to be shocked if he's our starting running back by the end of the year because he's that good. Nebraska fans are going to really like who I compare him to. The way he runs reminds me of Caleb Johnson, so we might have Caleb Johnson 2.0. And also, our O-line is fantastic again, no complaints there whatsoever. Defensively, we were spectacular. I was very worried coming into this year about our losses in the secondary and at the linebacker level, and those were really no issue tonight. TJ Hall and Deshaun Lee played amazing, our safeties were great, and our linebackers did what they needed to do. The only issues I really saw throughout the game, which both got corrected in the second half, were we had an issue in the first half with quarterback read options. Every time we took the bait, and I think that's because the linebackers are so young, but that's something that'll come with time and something I'm not super worried about the rest of the year. And then there were a couple zone coverages that were blown, but those also got fixed in the second half as the secondary was so much better. The D-line is once again great, and they're our biggest strength on the defense, so I'm not going to complain about that. And my standout from defense is Zach Lutmer. He plays safety, but he plays more of a cash linebacker position, and he was just all over the field tonight on every tackle, so I was happy with that. Special teams is once again great. I'm not concerned there. There's not really much to say. Stevens is great, Dakin's great, Weechen's great. Overall takeaways from this game, it was awesome that we were able to run for 300 yards, but that's not going to be how we win games this year. We have to have a passing offense. That's just how it is. We're not going to be able to run for 300 yards on Big Ten teams. As dominating as we can be with our offensive line, that's not possible. Gronowski has to be better than what he was tonight, and I think he will be. I genuinely do think the potential's there after watching him play, but he's got to figure it out sooner rather than later. I think we have a very high ceiling if he is good and the team plays like it did tonight. But if he plays like he did tonight against regular Big Ten teams, we see us going 7-5 or 8-4, not because our defense is bad, but because our offense cannot help support the defense, which has been a problem throughout the entire year. So yeah, that's all I kind of got for that reaction. It's a little longer than I would have liked, but I also had more notes because I was there.